Hello, viewers. It's Josie. Welcome back to Eclectic Movie Reviews and Updates. And I know it's 2 weeks late, 2 weeks later, but that's okay. I am giving out my personal alternate Oscar nominations and winners. Now, about the show, I think One Battle After Another was absolutely deserving of all its wins. And I was very happy to see Paul Thomas Anderson finally get his Oscars. But without further and before I get started, I want to say that there for these nominations and winners are subject to change over time upon further revisitation. And how, because that's that I don't believe that opinions and rankings stay fixed. And for some of these categories, there were some hard omissions I had to make. Omissions that I didn't expect myself to make, not because I didn't like these particular films per se, but I just want to shout out other things. So just a heads up. So first off, let me give out my silly, non-serious ancillary awards. For Best Kill, no spoilers, no other choice. There is a particular killing that happens in that movie that I love, but I don't want to say which it is. For Best Bathroom, Rats, which is a really fun movie. I believe it's on Tubi. That's where I watched it. It's on Tubi and it's on Shudder. For Best Glasses, Universal Language. For the Unique Pet Award is a tie. The Rooster in The President's Cake and the conjoined twin cats in The Secret Agent. For Best Boat, The President's Cake. Best House, Sentimental Value. Best Bar or Restaurant, Blue Moon. Best Tree, Hamnet. For Best Neighborhood, The Secret Agent. For Best Train, 28 Years Later. Best Car, It Was Just an Accident. Best Couple is a tie. And this I actually brought up in my favorite fictional couples my Valentine's Day video for this year. It's a tie. Agnes and Evan and Agnes and Evan in Sentimental Value, and the parents in Little Amelie. And then Best Toxic Romance. Stephen Lang and Una Chaplin's characters in Avatar: Fire and Ash. For Best Makeup and Hair, my nominations are 28 Years Later, Frankenstein, Resurrection, The Ugly Stepsister, and Weapons. My winner is The Ugly Stepsister. Really boundary-pushing work is done there. For Best Sound, my nominations are Arco, 28 Years Later, The Day the Earth Blew Up, If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, It Was Just an Accident, No Other Choice, One Battle After Another, Rats, Resurrection, and Weapons. My winner is Resurrection. For Best Editing, my nominations are Black Bag, Boys Go to Jupiter, Begonia, The Day the Earth Blew Up, Marty Supreme, No Other Choice, One Battle After Another, Rats, Reflection in a Dead Diamond, and The Testament of Anne Lee. And my winner I gotta keep the Oscar winner, one battle after another. I don't typically do runner-up winners in these sorts of videos, but if I were, I'd probably say No Other Choice or Black Bag if I were to give like an alternate winner here, but I can't argue against One Battle After Another as an editing winner. It's just the pacing is just so brilliant. And I know this has been said ad nauseum, but it makes a film that's over 2.5 hours feel like 90 minutes, if not less. It totally moves. Andy Jurgensen's a brilliant editor. For original score, just the nominations are Jerskin Fendrix for Begonia, Daniel Pemberton and Bobby Krilic for Eddington, Mary Fukuhara for Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, Daniel Lopatin's score for Marty Supreme, Johnny Greenwood's score for One Battle After Another, Raheem Al-Hajj score for The President's Cake, M83 score for Resurrection, Ludwig Göransson score for Sinners, Daniel Blumberg score for The Testament of Anne Lee, and Bryce Dessner's score for Train Dreams. And from that 10, my winner is M83 score for Resurrection. Just really beautiful, really beautiful score that like puts you in a meditative Zen mood, sort of. For costume design, my nominations are Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One of Them Days, The Phoenician Scheme, Resurrection, The Secret Agent, Sinners, The Testament of Anne Lee, and The Ugly Stepsister. My winner is The Phoenician Scheme. For production design, my /art direction /set decoration, whatever you want to call it, my nominations are Boys Go to Jupiter, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, The Phoenician Scheme, Reflection in a Dead Diamond, Resurrection, The Secret Agent, Sinners, The Testament of Anne Lee, and A Useful Ghost. And my winner is Resurrection. For cinematography, my nominations are Begonia, Caught by the Tides, Eddington, No Other Choice, On Becoming a Guinea Fowl, One Battle After Another, Resurrection, The Secret Agent, The Testament of Anne Lee, and Train Dreams. And my winner is Resurrection. For Best Coming of Age Film, there were quite a few coming of age films that came out this year, so I figured I'd make a category for it, just for fun. And my nominations are 28 Years Later, Arco, Boys Go to Jupiter, Happy End, Left-Handed Girl, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, The President's Cake, Rats, Sacramento, and Universal Language. And my winner for this category is the Japanese film Happy End, directed by Neo Sora. For those of you who don't know about Happy End, the setting is Tokyo in the close by near future. There is a continual threat of a life-threatening earthquake, and the story follows 5 close friends in high school before graduation, and then 2 of them pull a prank on the principal, and then consequently, the school implements a surveillance program which many students resist and are very much against. And Nero Sora examines and critiques techno-fascism. In spite of such a subject matter, the film is surprisingly a heartfelt ode to friendship and community. thriving even in difficult times like this. And then I have the category for Best Child Performance. Now, what's interesting here is that I could have made this a tie between two people within the same film. I'll explain. My winner is Benin Ahmad Nayef for The President's Cake. Her role requires such a high degree of difficulty. With everything, the protagonist Lamia and her friend Saeed, played by Sajjad Mohammed Khwazam, who's also fantastic in this movie, and I want to give him a shout out. That's what I mean. I could have made this time. So when they go, what they go through to find the ingredients to make the cake for Saddam Hussein's birthday, like, this isn't just a whimsical kiddie adventure. This is like a life or death under a totalitarian government situation. And through her performance, Benin Ahmad Nayef demonstrates all of Lamia's fear and stress, balanced with the hopeful determination. President's Cake was one of my favorites of this past cycle. For supporting actress, this was tough to make nominations for. I had to, one person I really wish I could have included, but I had to get rid of. And I really actually thought I was going to include her, but I decided to make room for some other names instead to be just a little different, is Odessa Zion. I guess she's an honorable mention that couldn't make the cut of the 10 here. My nominations are Mariam Afshari for It Was Just an Accident, Jodie Comer for 28 Years Later, Kirsten Dunst for Roofman, Wahid Thabet Kribat for The President's Cake, Teresa Lee for Resurrection, Inga Ibsdottir Lilias in Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan for Weapons, Deirdre O'Connell for Eddington, Danielle Evan Ploger for Rats, and Son Ye-jin for No Other Choice. Now, I think Amy Madigan was a great winner for the Oscars, and I think very much deserved it. But for the sake of this, my personal winner would be Inga Ibsdottir Lilias for Sentimental Value. She is the heart and soul of the narrative. She demonstrates practicality, compassion, and vulnerability, both verbally and non-verbally. It's a role that's a lot more difficult than it would initially sound on paper. And she's just so fantastic. And I hope she gets, her career rises after this, as Renate Reinsve did after she started working with Joachim Trier. So next up is supporting actor. My nominations are Ebrahim Azizi for It Was Just an Accident, Michael Cera for The Phoenician Scheme, Aidan Delbus for Begonia, Muhammad Ali Eliasmeyer for It Was Just an Accident, Chris Evans for The Materialists, Peter McNichol for The Day the Earth, as the voice of the villain in The Day the Earth Blew Up, Reg-Jean Page for Black Bag, Sean Penn for One Battle After Another, Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value, and Chen Yongzong for Resurrection. And my winner, and another person who's sort of the heart in an otherwise bleak yet comical film, Aidan Delbus for Begonia. As a woman on the autism spectrum, it was so incredible to see an actual autistic actor portray somebody with autism. Rather than serving as a comic relief punching bag, he is the voice of emotional reason. He knows that his cousin Teddy is drawing a line. And even under tragic circumstances, he is the character that we wish that matters would end up okay for, even if, it's obviously a tragedy. And I think that speaks to the emotional humanity that Aidan Delbus brings and to the character of Don. And I hope that he gets more roles in the future. And maybe Yorgos Lanthimos will give him a role in another film of his. That would be awesome. For adapted screenplay, my nominations are 28 Years Later, Begonia, The Day the Earth Blew Up, Hamnet, The Life of Chuck, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, No Other Choice, One Battle After Another, Roofman, and Train Dreams. And my winner for this category is Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, screenplay by Melis Valad and Lian Cho Han. The narrative balance of emotional and intellectual complexity and the innocent wonder, it just speaks to how well the such a coming of age script is written. Yeah, I've gone on a lot. I've talked a lot about how much I love Little Amelie. In fact, I don't have it with me right now, but you could check on my Instagram if it's still up there. At Though I'm not entirely sure if by the time this video goes up, if it'll still be live. I did a painting of inspired by Little Amelie. Maybe in a future video, I'll show the picture. My nominations for original screenplay. Now, I had to make some really rough cuts here. But my nominations are Black Bag, Blue Moon, Boys Go to Jupiter, Eddington, Good Fortune, Happy End, It Was Just an Accident, Left-Handed Girl, The Phoenician Scheme, The President's Cake, Resurrection, Sentimental Value, Universal Language, A Useful Ghost, and Weapons. I give, for the past 2 years, I've given 15 nominations for original screenplay. And my winner here is Ari Aster's Eddington. I know this movie is polarizing for understandable reasons, but getting to the blunt truth of right now when discussing our internet-driven, politically divided nation, with a humorously macabre tone, all comes down to the what I think is brilliant writing. Now, my nominations for lead actress are Beneed Ahmad Nayef for The President's Cake, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Susan Chardy for On Becoming a Guinea Fowl, Davika Horn for A Useful Ghost, Chase Infinity for One Battle After Another, Leah Myren for The Ugly Stepsister, Renata Reinsva for Sentimental Value, Amanda Seyfried for The Test of an Avonlea, Ma Shi-wan / Janelle Tsai, they're on the same ticket, for Left-Handed Girl, and Zhao Tao for Caught by the Tides. And my winner here is Amanda Seyfried for The Test of an Avonlea. This unjust snub at the Oscars is something that needs to be studied. The ferocious physicality and blunt precision that Amanda Seyfried brings is just so magnificent. And moving forward to lead actor, my nominations are Lee Byung-hun for No Other Choice, Benicio del Toro for The Phoenician Scheme, Joel Edgerton for Train Dreams, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, Vahid Mobaseri for It Was Just an Accident, Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent, Joaquin Phoenix for Eddington, Jesse Plemons for Begonia, Channing Tatum for Roofman, and Jackson Yee for Resurrection. And my winner is Jesse Plemons for Begonia. Another criminal snub. The energy he brings to Teddy is what makes the roller coaster ride that is Begonia. Now, moving forward to comedy, my nominations are The Day the Earth Blew Up, The Good Fortune, The Naked Gun, One of Them Days, and Rats. And my winner is The Day the Earth Blew Up, Looney Tunes movie. My nominations for acting ensemble are Black Bag, Ephus, Happy End, It Was Just an Accident, Left-Handed Girl, One Battle After Another, Sinners, Test of an Avonlea, Universal Language, and Weapons. And my winner is One Battle After Another. I'm going to keep the casting award winner at the Oscars. And I don't know what else needs to be said. It's just such an amazing cast and so many great lines that they deliver. And, you know, they are the glue that holds the ride together, as well as the writing and directing. But, well, they're part of what holds the ride together. You know what I mean? So, and then my nominations for Best Romance or Love Story are Black Bag, The Day the Earth Blew Up, Good Fortune, Lost in Starlight, The Materialists, The Phoenician Scheme, Resurrection, Sacramento, Sinners, and A Useful Ghost. And my winner is Black Bag. What can I say? This movie, it's cleverly witty, it's sexy, it's so crisp at crisp pace at only like an hour and a half, and it's funny and what can I say? George and Catherine Woodhouse are this generation's Nick and Nora Charles. Moving on to director, my nominations are Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, Ari Aster for Eddington, Park Chan-wook for No Other Choice, Mona Fastfold for The Test of Van Lee, Bygone for Resurrection, Yorgos Lanthimos for Begonia, Kleber Mendonça Filho for The Secret Agent, Jafar Panahi for It Was Just an Accident, Steven Soderbergh for Black Bag, and Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value. And my winner is Begone for Resurrection. His creative vision is on another level. He takes you on a dreamscape ride. And the fact that this is only his third feature is insane. I can only imagine what other films he has in store in the future. I cannot wait to see what he writes and directs next. Yeah. And here are my top overlooked features. There's no winner here. These are just shout outs. All shout outs / ties. Boys Go to Jupiter, The Day the Earth Blew Up, Ephus, Good Fortune, Happy End, Left-Handed Girl, On Becoming a Guinea Fowl, Rats, Sacramento, and Universal Language. Now, some of these, spoiler alert, will be brought up in my picture / 25 films because 2025. But maybe that was a little bit counterproductive of me to reiterate them, but whatever. This is just for fun. It's not serious. Again, when making my 25, it's not necessary. When making my list of 25 films because 2025, these shout outs, this is not necessary. I had to make some rough cuts here, but again, these lists are all subject to change over time upon further revisitation. But my nominations are Black Bag, Boys Go to Jupiter, Begonia, The Day the Earth Blew Up, Eddington, Good Fortune, Happy End, It Was Just an Accident, Left-Handed Girl, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, Marty Supreme, No Other Choice, One Battle After Another, Phoenician Scheme, The President's Cake, Rats, Resurrection, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, Test of Van Lee, Train Dreams, Universal Language, A Useful Ghost, and Weapons. And my winner is Bygone's Resurrection. Now, I pretty much gave my reasoning when talking about why I gave Begone Best Director, but if I were to add anything more to that, I'd say that, the saying love letter to cinema is thrown around a lot lately, and it's kind of gotten, it's kind of a cliche by this point. I'd say better wording when discussing the film Resurrection is saying that it's a retrospective of all the different eras of many different eras of cinema, and it a film history, and it's also in addition to showcasing his love for cinema, Begon, it's if you are going to call it a love letter, I'd say it's it's sort of that for the six senses, and the film is also in a way a meditation on the collective mind and um and consciousness and unconscious since it's about dreaming. um but yeah, that's all I have to say. Sorry about that. For the film side of things, I had to wipe my nose briefly. Sorry. That's all I have to say for the um for for the uh that's what I have to say for the 2025-2026 award cycle. And thank you. Uh, I want to thank everybody who I saw movies with this year, and watched movies with this year. It was a really fun, wonderful experience. I had great experiences seeing the films I did this year. And I think that that's really important because at the end of the day, people remember the movies more than the awards. Um, but uh, uh, once again, it was I'm really proud of this work I put into this, and I'm really grateful that I got to see such wonderful films. Now, one more thing before I go, I'm gonna give out fictional book awards, and so basically these are movie awards for um books published in 2025 if they were films. Um, for best short story, The Museum of Future Mistakes by James Kapinski, like for pretending it's best short film. For best editing, Twice, by the by Mitch Abom, the novel. For best sound, The Wayfinder. For best costumes, The Memory Spinner. For production design, The Undead Fox of Deadwood Forest. For cinematography, Stalactite and Stalagmite. For supporting actress, Nina Hoss as Frey in The Memory Spinner. For supporting actor, Vincent Pastore as Jimmy DeLuca in Busted. For adapted screenplay, The Wayfinder, because it's inspired by Polynesian mythology. For original screenplay, okay, obviously it's adapted, but for the sake of this video, let's pretend it's original. Pretending that Ari Aster adapted Vera or Faith by Gary Steingart into a film, actually, let's pretend that it's an original. You know what I mean. For lead actress, Angelina Lookingglass as the voice of Carrero in The Wayfinder. For lead actor, Walton Goggins as the voice of Claire and the Undead Fox of Deadwood Forest. For casting, The Wayfinder, for finding the best voice cast. For best director, Michael Dudok DeWitt for The Wayfinder. And best picture? Okay, so maybe let me run down my before I give that out, let me run down the top 10 books published in 2025. I wrote down. and who I imagine adapting them. Twice by Mitch Albom, adaptation by Clint Bentley, who did Train Dreams. Stalactite and Stalagmite, A Big Tale from a Little Cave by Drew Beckmeyer, adaptation from Be Gone. The Memory Spinner by C.M. Cornwell, adaptation from Robert Eggers. Life Hacks for a Little Alien by Alice Franklin, adaptation from Charlotte Wells. Busted by Dan Geimenhardt, adaptation from Matt Johnson. The Undead Fox of Deadwood Forest by Aubrey Hartman, adaptation from Cristobal Leon and Joaquin Cocina, the makers of The Wolf House. The Wayfinder by Adam Johnson, adaptation from Michael Dudok-DeWitt, the director of the animated movie The Red Turtle. The Leaving Room by Amber McBride, adaptation from Nia DaCosta. Graciela in the Abyss by Meg Medina, adaptation from Guillermo del Toro, produced by James Cameron. And Vera Faith by Gary Steingart, adaptation from Ari Aster. And Best Picture goes to The Wayfinder, with my fictional book adaptation, movie awards. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody has a nice Easter coming up, or Passover, whatever you celebrate, a nice springtime. Thank you for watching. The links to my socials are in the description below. Happy Easter and Passover. Goodbye for now.